Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, top of the year. This is actually going to be my first interview of 2023, and you guys know I've been doing some wrestling interviews, and as you guys also know, I definitely grew up watching wrestling, and I kind of let it fade out of my life for a little bit until my last interview that I did with Swerve, so we are back again, but this time I have Ricky Starks with me. So look, we're going to get right into this intro, and then we're going to bring in Ricky. Ricky, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm loving this setup here. Actually,
isn't it nice?
Yeah. I feel so like not. I don't want to say official because I've been official, but
Period.
I feel a little bit more like this is it. This is where we're at. This is at the top of a New York building, and the break room is fitted with nothing but snacks. Fruit snacks, granola bars, all of it.
And we even delivered you some water and energy drinks.
I know. I want to give a shout out to Wired X Caffeine.
Let's hope we can all get a little coin off of that,
Trying to help out here.
Why not?
Yeah.
And those actually work, Joe.
I know, I'm feeling
it. A few in my locker.
Nice.
Because people like to take all the good stuff around here. Now, first of all, how was your flight?
It was easy, actually. I didn't take the direct flight here.
Okay.
I did Austin to Phoenix and Phoenix here. Very easy, honestly.
So you didn't have to worry about anyone fighting at the airport. I saw this one girl tearing up Southwest little lobby area because I guess the computers were down. And I was like, you see, this is why I fly Alaska. This doesn't happen.
I feel like I saw that. I saw a video where a lady was like, Southwest, more like Southworst. And I was like, go ahead. You know what? You deserve that.
These airlines are getting it this year. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone's sick of it.
True, but I'll tell you this. Southwest actually owned up to us. Like, that's our bad,
and
we're going to give you a refund.
This is true.
So,
but they should have been fixed their systems to where that didn't even happen.
My mom was on a flight back home from Vegas, and she actually sat next to a pilot who said, yeah, they've been knew that they needed to upgrade their program for years now, and they still didn't do it. So now they have to pay even more money than they did before. I said, nice.
As they should.
Happens. If you slack, guess you got to pay the tax man.
Or if you're trying to be cheap, it's like putting cheap gas in a Lexus or like a Benz or something. Like you're like, I'm going to get the unleaded. And then you're frustrated when your car starts making noise. And it's like, well, you knew better.
Yeah, exactly. If you would do better if you knew better,
Period.
So me personally, I'll tell you this. My flight home, I was actually supposed to go to Vegas. That's where my sister, my brother, and my mom went. And Southwest canceled me.
Like everyone else?
American canceled me on Friday. Southwest canceled me on Saturday.
Crap.
So I spent Christmas, first time I ever missed Christmas. But I telling my mom there's a rule. If my flight gets delayed more than twice, I'm already just looking for a new flight.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even care. It's like going to a restaurant, the food takes an hour. It's like, you know what?
Yeah, the window's closed. I'm not feeling it anymore.
My stomach's not growling. I'm good. We're just gonna leave. We're gonna try this again a little later.
Exactly. I'm the same way. I will not give it another chance, and I'm good.
So one thing I thought was really dope about your story is that you decided that you wanted to start wrestling at about 7.
Yeah.
How? I mean, obviously how, but how? Like, what was the moment where you were like, yeah, I'm doing that. I don't care what anyone says.
So there's not like a specific moment, but from what I can remember is I was watching The Undertaker do his entrance.
I love The Undertaker.
He is based off of what you've already figured out, you already know that's my favorite wrestler. But I remember watching his entrance and be like, man, I am so, like, this dude is cool. And if you look at me and then you look at The Undertaker, he's like, man, y'all two shouldn't even be in the same type of, like
how does this happen?
Yeah. So that was when I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And I was telling my mom, like, I'm going to have a bunch of kids. You're going to watch them. I'm going to go and be a wrestler, this and that. Obviously, I have reorganized that whole type of game plan as I got older, of course.
I mean,
maybe
the
not
kids
as
will
many.
slow you down a little bit unless you're trying to be Nick Cannon, and we see how that's going.
Exactly. So from that moment, I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And so I stuck to it. I'm a man of my word. And I told my mom, hey, I'm going to be a wrestler.
So, like, did she put you in wrestling classes at that young of an age? Or was it more so, you just kept watching until you got the opportunity
So I only watch wrestling. I don't remember really watching a lot of cartoons or anything like that, and I never did sports. Like I was out of the house. I was an active kid. I was always out doing something, but I never played sports. Maybe I would have had a better. If I played sports, maybe my attitude would be a little bit better. But
I feel like the attitude probably helps you in the ring these days.
Now it does, right? But if you talked to my mom back when I was younger, she was like, "Yeah, he need."
Well, that's just like with my mom and everyone in my family. They were like, "You talk too much. You talk too much." Well, look at what I get paid to do now.
It's helping y'all out for Christmas, ain't it?
If I decide to buy them anything, child.
Well, yeah, I feel that.
But no, it's one of those things where it's crazy because when you're younger, there's like these traits that people are always trying to change about you, whether it's your attitude or how you're dressing. Maybe like you become like this big fashion designer and everyone's always confused about your clothes. You have this attitude, which is now a persona for you within the ring. I talk too much. Well, you know what I mean? So it's always really dope whenever I'm able to hear about someone like yourself that had a moment where someone was like, oh my goodness, this isn't it, but now it's like, well, actually.
Yeah, that is my whole MO about my life. Well, actually, let me tell you, okay? So I think it's funny in that regard because my mom she never tried to shy me away from wrestling, but she definitely did try to say, okay, maybe
he's going to grow out of this.
Yeah, maybe you're going to grow out of it, but maybe don't say what's on your mind. Maybe don't do this. Maybe, So it's worked out, I'll say. For the better, at least, because I had no choice but to have it work out.
Now, I am curious about this. I feel like in wrestling, like I was saying with that persona, I mean, I've only met like 2 wrestlers now, but you both are completely different outside of the ring.
Really?
Well, it's like when you're in the ring, it's like,
interesting.
It's like seeing a certain celebrity on TV, and then when you're in front of them, it's like, oh, you're not mean.
Right.
Oh, you're not an ass. Like, oh, you're actually like really cool. Like, this is really part of your job. So my question to you is, how much of that do you really carry around with you on a day-to-day basis, or is it more like a switch when you get on the ring?
For me, it's definitely a switch. There's some people that, they aren't. It's an act. But for me, that's why I made that reaction when you said, I said, wow, okay. But you're seeing the nice side of Ricky.
And then also, like, even on TV, we really only see one side.
True.
When it comes to, like, at least, like, wrestlers and things like that. Like,
right.
We're seeing you in your character in that moment the whole time. But here, you're being yourself. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I threw some water at you, then I would get a whole, you know what I mean? But it's like your normal version of yourself is not always that heightened version of yourself that we see on TV.
Not at all. Because the person that you see on TV is just me turned up to a certain degree. And I think that's just how it's been for me since I was little. Earlier today, I had to cut a promo on this lady because she said something about wrestling that I didn't like and never met her, and I just went in on her. So there's this. She said she didn't think this stuff really hurt.
Oh, hell no.
So, and this is coming from a person who almost had his career in it because he broke his neck.
Now, and that's in my notes. We're going to get to that in a second.
I know. but what you see right now, my personality is me on TV, just turned up a little bit because I got energy that's feeding into me, and I can't help but feel I'm a very passionate person, very raw. It's right there, in my heart.
Right on the shoulder.
Yeah, right there.
So, okay, since you're talking about breaking necks, can we talk, first of all, happy that you're still here.
Right.
Because good golly bobsters, not many people, 1, make it out of that, and 2, make it out without having to get surgery.
I know.
What the hell happened?
A move
and
went
do
wrong.
You remember what happened also?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I was conscious for it. They thought I was knocked out, but I wasn't.
You felt that.
It happened in Jacksonville. A move went wrong, and so I finished the match. I remember I finished the match for sure. And I remember when it happened, I stood up and said, oh, that's weird. And I did that and kind of stretched my neck. I was like, oh, it's a little tight. Get to the back, and I said, oh, dang, something's not right. Something's not right, because I know my body.
Yeah.
And went and got an MRI done. And I went to 3 different doctors. 2 of them didn't find what the 3rd doctor found, which was a fracture. I basically broke my neck. And man, that was the worst day because I was in the room bawling my eyes up because I thought my career was over.
Yeah.
And coming from a person who I am college educated, like school for physical therapy assistant, things like that. But this was just what I wanted to do, and this is what I put everything into. Mm-hmm. And so to have that kind of almost taken away from you is not a great
like in
feeling.
a split second at
Right.
that.
But the what's even worse is the fact that I could have this taken away from me by the hands of somebody else.
And that's the real gotcha moment,
By the
because it's
hands
not
of
like you
somebody
did it to
else.
yourself. It's not like you were
Exactly.
walking down the stairs. It's not like you were, jumping over the rope and then landed wrong.
Right.
Like someone else messed up.
Someone else was in control in that moment for me. And that right there is the worst feeling to have.
Yeah.
Because that's it. So thankfully I narrowly avoided surgery, and I think it's due to the fact that I do yoga and I stretch, and I'm a very limber type person, so I had that on my side, and so I didn't have to, but I did have to take off from wrestling for about 4 months. And so that may not seem like a lot to people, but when I'm at the like I'm in it, you know what I'm saying, I am at my peak to have to stop and watch everybody else pass me by
And keep going.
right, because at that moment I hadn't even come off the bench, you know what I'm saying, hadn't even come off the bench to even get started. So it wasn't a great experience for me, and I actually don't even like watch people try to show it to me, and it's like, what do you, don't ever
I'm like, what?
right, don't show it to me, I lived it, what are you talking about?
I was there.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I got past it. It was a very low point for me because I didn't know. No one tells you how to prepare yourself for injuries. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine that's your only way to make your money. That's the only thing that you love. And then now you were faced with a situation where, hey, this could be it, dog. Like, you were very close to just being done.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to have come out on the other side way better. But going through it was not fun, and still having to deal with it to this day in terms of not even physical, just more of a
Like a mental thing for you?
Yeah, where I still have these moments where I don't know, I get in there and I think now I'm obviously more gracious for things, but there's times where I'm like, man, could you imagine where I'd be right now had that not happened? But that's not up to me. That's up to the man above to show me something and then to keep me on the same path.
So what was your first match after your neck was fully healed?
Oh, so I'll never forget. It was in Austin, Texas, and that I reside there. I'm not from there, but I've lived there long enough now, and so I had a match against Brian Cage for the FTW Championship, and at the time, we kicked Brian Cage out of our group, Team Taz. And so
these groups are always a cackle, especially when you guys start beefing.
Very, yeah. And you know what it is? I've been in 3 groups now. It's always never me. It's never me. It's always
so wait
them.
a minute, wait. We got to get back to this match, but hold on. So the beef is real.
Wait, where'd you pick that up from? Where'd you pick that up from?
Well, your energy in this moment to where it's like, look, it's them, it's not me. I'm not tag teaming with you. I'm sorry you got hit. Go away.
I mean, essentially, look at me. I'm absolute, so I can't help it. It's a thing. People.
Yeah. Because I guess on the outside, part of me is like, okay, this has to be real. But then the other part is like, did somebody take the script and was like, no, you're going to go sleep with this person's girlfriend or something.
Wild.
And you're going to make this up.
That's wild,
I mean, I was watching wrestling back
That's
in the day.
wild,
It was a
actually.
thing. It was a whole thing.
I think what it is, it comes down to who's advancing a little bit quicker, who's got it and who doesn't. And so if you got it, you got it. And if you don't, just try to work at it,
Not everybody fits on the rasta.
Exactly.
Now, back about this match that you had right after.
Amazing moment.
Yes.
In Austin, where they know me because I used to do independence there, and it was my first match back, and I'll never forget. I was backstage freaking out because I hadn't wrestled in forever, and I didn't know. Here's the thing about me. There's a side of me that is still grounded where he's like, I don't know if you can still do it like you were doing it, 3 months ago. And then the other side's like, the ego side's like, well, just watch.
I'm brand new. Let's go.
let's just see. So I went out there and it was amazing. Won the title in front of a sold out Austin crowd, and the reaction I got was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And to have that match and to get through it and then to go home, because I live 7 minutes from the venue, I just I sat in my room. I was like, damn, I got it. I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish in that moment, which was making a comeback and getting through a match.
Even though in that moment, before you even went out there, you were like, can I do this?
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden your body was like, fuck yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That's even a question.
You want to talk about a switch from earlier. The switch was just like, all right, let's go. So, that's the type of person I am. I was like, who are you talking to, dog? Look at you.
No, period.
Come on.
That higher self came in and was like,
get with it. Yeah, get with it. And then immediately music hit. I said, hey, y'all. I'm here.
On the way out. So, okay. First of all, I was watching some of your interviews, and then I found this clip.
Oh, no.
You told Chris Jericho that he was walking around looking like an air fryer.
Yeah, it was built. Yeah. So, yes, ma'am, I did. And who can prove me wrong? All right.
You said now you're looking all lean and mean like a dad that's divorced with you.
Yeah, he was dressed like a single father. I didn't understand it.
God.
I didn't understand it.
Holy crap and rolly. I'm sorry. I had that. That was funny.
If we could pull up a picture of what Chris looked like, I believe earlier in this year, and then to now, to me, what I said was a big compliment because he looked like
got mad?
He was built like an air fryer. He was built like somebody's baby mama. It was so wild, and he looks great now.
Yeah, he looks good.
He looks lean.
Maybe someone else told him he looked like an air fryer and was like, you know what?
Working overtime.
I'm gonna be ready.
Working overtime.
I'm gonna be ready.
The difference was somebody actually just said it. You know what I'm saying?
Publicly.
I mean, what is that? Am I wrong? I'm just saying he looks great, y'all.
He looks good.
He looks good.
He is waist trainer fit.
He looks good. All right.
Oh my goodness.
You can't have the style of Ricky, but come on.
Something. When I saw that clip, I was like, oh yeah, I like Chris Jericho. I remember him from back in the day.
Oh no.
I didn't care about anything else that happened in that clip after you said he was built like an air fryer. I looked at my air fryer and I was like, oh damn.
Right.
He was like a box.
My ninja sitting up on my counter right now just was like, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You got it.
Definitely
working overtime.
So, okay. Groups. Are you in one right now?
Hell no.
Are you going to join one? Because in that clip, he was like, oh, you should join us. And you were like, it was almost like, now, why would I do that?
Yeah, why? Yes, no. I'm solo dolo. That's where I'm meant to be. Tag teams are cool, but there's only room for one, and that's me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I feel the same way. I'm an only child.
Well, I'm a baby of 3.
That's probably worse.
Yes, because I got away with everything.
No, period.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
But I mean, I don't know how it is to be an only child. I mean, there's some benefits to it, I'm sure. A lot of presents. Nope. No. By that reaction, not really.
It's more of a reaction of I wouldn't know the difference. Because kind of like you, I'm an only child. So I asked for something. My mom's like, I don't know. I'm going to call your dad. Then somebody's going to get me what I want somehow. Because
a compliment to you, though, is that even for being an only child, because I've met a lot of only children, they have real bad attitudes. Very self-centered. You don't seem very self-centered at all.
I think sometimes it depends on the day, but for the most part, I'm not.
That's good, at least. I can take that. That's a good batting average. You know what I'm saying?
So, okay. Not to necessarily bounce around, but
sure.
You did ask Chris Jericho for a match at tomorrow's wrestling event.
Yes, ma'am.
Who are we wrestling tomorrow?
I'm wrestling Chris Jericho.
So it's really going to happen?
So the match is officially set because it's a new city.
Yeah.
It's a new AEW, so to speak, a whole revamp of the Dynamite show. We're going to open the show, me and Chris Jericho. So yeah, we got it officially announced, me versus Chris Jericho. And I think this is a big deal just because, I haven't had these types of matchups. The last close matchup that I had was against Sting. And to me, this is a perfect example of showing exactly people what I'm about. If I'm telling you that I'm absolute, if I'm telling you that I'm good, I'm going to prove to you why I am, And that's what's going to happen tomorrow. And I think it's great. This is our first time in Seattle.
Wow.
So I love Seattle.
You came on a good day. It's not too cold outside today.
No, every time I've come, I've always come either at the start of summer or at the end of spring or, something like that. So to me, those are great times to come just because I can actually do stuff outdoors.
Now, moving up through the ranks in wrestling, there was a clip where I found...
Uh-oh.
Where is it at? what is enhancement talent? He's like,
Yeah, for those who didn't see, I was taking a sip and almost did a spit take because that's so great that you picked that up. Enhancement talent is essentially somebody who is like a sparring partner, in boxing. And their job is to mainly enhance the person that is being featured. So, case in point, I've been on both sides. I've been in that position quite a few. You have to make somebody look good. And that was kind of my whole job, so to speak, when I was first starting out and getting my feet wet within wrestling. Now, I'm actually wrestling these people who come in AEW that are enhancement talent. So I trust me, I get it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, to go even further back than that, was it like street team? So I started on the street team in radio, right?
You're right.
Moved my way up
Nice.
from street team, picking up tents,
Yes.
handing out tickets. I got over it when it was like snowing one day, and I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm getting in the office. It's not going to work. It's Seattle. Why would I do that?
Right.
Either way, had to move my way up from street team to work in the office to now being on air.
Okay.
I seen a clip where somebody ended up slamming you into a table, and it said that you were an arena worker. What was that? Like, is that the equivalent? I mean, I'm really asking. That like
awesome.
Equivalent of like street team type things, to where it's like you work your way up, or I don't know.
Basically, yeah. I mean, you could even consider me being an enhancement talent, as you just said. Yeah. So
I would have never thought of it that way.
That situation happened where that was at the Laredo Energy Center, and that was the third take of somebody slapping me in my ear with tuna salad, by the way. And I think at the time they only put arena worker because, who cares about the name of the guy getting slammed through the table? We're worried about the guy doing the slamming. And I'll never forget, I should have won an Oscar for that performance. I'm telling you, I should have won an Oscar for it. I had these people come to me after the first take and say, hey, maybe that's a little too, gone with the wind. Maybe that's a little too much raisin in the sun performance. We don't need that. We need a little bit more timid, scared. I said, bet. You know what I did? Gave him a side. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then he slammed me. Right?
Wow.
Afterwards, they bought me a new T-shirt, Calvin Klein. Afterwards, they bought me new shoes because I got them dirty. And afterwards, the guy who slammed me said, hey, thank you for that. Not to mention, 4 years later, when I went back to Vegas for Thanksgiving, I saw that dude, his name's Ryback, in the gym and was like, hey, man, thank you for that. Let me give you some advice on how to because I had a tryout coming up for WWE. He was like, let me give you some advice on how to make it there. I was like, wow, thank you so much.
Wow.
Mid-set, he said that to me. And I was like, kind of ruined the workout. But I appreciate it, dog. Thank you.
It's so crazy how, like, in these industries, the behind the scenes, to where it's like, if you don't ever work in entertainment, you wouldn't think of that as being a moment. I was like, enhancement.
That's a good
and
point.
He was like, I was like, I got questions because I feel like I know what this means, but I don't know what this means. But
you were close to it. Like you were pretty close to it. It's just to hear it from this side. I was like, yeah. Why is it called enhancement talent? What? That's weird. So yeah. But I guess I did do it. I trust me. That was one of many that you saw, and for some reason, that video stays stuck in the YouTube algorithm.
Oh no, absolutely! I just typed in your name, and I was like, 9 years ago.
Hey, I don't even look like I aged a day.
No, you don't. You actually look younger.
Black don't crack.
Especially when we don't have any kids.
All right.
The youthfulness for me. One of my cousins was like, you don't age. Well, you also have 3 kids, sir, so I'd be a little stressed out too. Just saying. So, okay. Who is Ricky outside of wrestling?
Oh man, is this a Tinder profile or what?
I mean, you could use it for one if you needed to, but
Tinder's not good. I am a person who I'm really big into art, and I mean that in terms of like I like fashion. Really, I don't know why I like fashion. I think it's cool. I like to look at it. I like to see these runways. I also like art in terms of cinematography. There's a lot of vignettes that I produced, made, and paid for, and directed that I've uploaded and had them air on TV. I like doing stuff like that. I like that type of that outlet of creativity. So I really want to get into, like, I'm gonna start painting soon. That's one thing this year I'm gonna start doing, is try painting, see how that works.
Well, you know, people love to have a good paint and sip party out here. So hey,
I hear
wait,
that's
can
a big
wrestlers
thing.
drink? Are you guys allowed to like let loose like that outside of the ring, or is that just
To
like
be a wrestler and not drink is an act of sin, and you can go to jail. Every wrestler I've known, there's some that don't drink. I know Swerve doesn't drink, but there's a few that don't drink, which is cool. But almost every wrestler you meet, they love to party because we're constantly on. We travel, we fly into a show, go to a hotel, then we go to sleep, then we wake up, wrestle, then we leave the venue at like 12, and we're trying to find something to do. Just 2 weeks ago, people went to Rick's Cabaret. Rick's Cabaret. And they said, Ricky, you want to go to Rick's Cabaret? I said, what do I look like going to Rick's Cabaret? No offense to people who work there, but I'm saying I hold myself to a different standard, okay?
Yeah.
Take me to Tootsie's or something,
Just don't
but I'm
take me
not
somewhere with my
going to
name in
Rick's Cabaret, y'all, on a Wednesday night. All right?
Have someone hobbling out like me on my little jacked up ankle.
We got people
Wednesday
on
night.
stage sitting cross-legged reading a magazine because it's that dead. Rick's Cabaret. Don't go on a Wednesday. That's what I'm saying.
Good to know.
But they were very nice people.
Okay. So
And I love tequila.
I was gonna ask you what your favorite was.
Tequila and tonic.
Tequila and tonic.
I always get that reaction. Yeah. You know why? I don't ever get hangovers from it. I never get hangovers from tequila. I love Blanco, but Añejo is one of my favorites. I'm a big tequila snob as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I recently did some I was watching a video about tequila and how sometimes it's like really vodka.
Yes.
And how they're
because
like,
of how it's burned. Because
yeah,
they're agave.
like, they're rushing it, and it's like only apparently it's supposed to take like 10 years, and they're trying to do stuff in like a year, and they're just slapping labels, and you gotta like look for all these little specifications, and I'm like, y'all just like
you're good.
Now I don't look at tequila the same, and I understand what my aunt meant when she came back from Mexico one day, and she was like, "This is real tequila," and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?"
That stuff that you when you take the shot of it, it's not no. But you know the difference. There's a lot of like popular brands that are not good tequila, but because of the way it's been like put on the shelf, so to speak, here in the States, people are like, "Oh, this is a 1942. Let's go, Don Julio." That's like, okay, all right. Hit the bell, bing, Clase Azul. It's like, bro, y'all spend your money on something better, like a book about real tequila. Or download the app. Like, there's an app that tells you what's good.
I mean, I just went on YouTube.
Right.
And watched the 20-minute video.
The fact that you're talking to me about it and you even said it like, hey, it used to be vodka. I said, wow. No one else knows that.
Little Google. So, okay, 6 randoms with Besa.
Let's do it.
1, are you ready for your match tomorrow?
Yes.
Who are you most excited to smack tomorrow? And I say that because when I was at Defy, I felt like someone slapped somebody with their foot the way that
So we're talking about.
I was like, did you just slap him in the face with your foot?
We're talking about who I'm looking forward to slapping during the show, right?
Yes.
Not after the show.
Yes. Because we can talk about that part when I stop rolling.
For sure. Definitely Chris Jericho, obviously. Chris Jericho and anybody else who won it. Okay? That's including his little friend, Daniel Garcia. That's including his other little friend, Sammy Guevara. That's including his bigger friend, Jake Hager. There's 2 little French boys that were with him, too. I don't know.
And who's the one that ran up on you a couple days ago?
That's Jake Hager.
Yeah, he definitely needs to be smacked.
Yeah, he got one. He got one in the chamber for sure.
As he should actually have 2, but I digress.
Touche.
One food that you love, but you know you should not be touching.
Well, look at me. I feel
Which is why you know you probably shouldn't be touching the food.
I mean, I still do. It's pizza, probably. I love pizza, and people always get on me because of the way I pronounce it, which I don't care. Pizza, and
it tastes the same.
Yeah, exactly. And I can make it work in my diet. Basically, I shouldn't be eating it, but I will. I could live on some Red Baron pizza for the rest of my life. Yes, ma'am.
I wish that you guys could have seen
To me, I didn't understand the reaction to it. Red Baron is great. Say it. Don't be speechless.
No.
Because I feel like I know why y'all have that reaction about Red Baron pizza. Okay.
You're talking about the frozen pizza.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And that's why my face is like that.
Here's a trick.
Fix it. Tell me how to fix it.
Spray the crust with avocado oil because they have a higher heat than your regular other oils, right? Put it in the oven. I promise you, it's like the crust. Way better. I went to culinary for 2 years. I'm using something of that to my benefit.
Okay.
Frozen foods.
Now, if you had to pick your favorite match that you've had thus far, what would it be?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. My favorite match in my entire career. My favorite match would be, my first favorite match would be against Cody Rhodes. And that was the match where I actually made my debut on Dynamite. And that was actually the match that helped me get a contract with AEW. And also, too, that's one of my good friends. So that sticks out in my head like one of my favorite matches. The other being another Seattle hometown hero, Darby Allin. So I had a match against him as well. So that'd be the second. Speaking
of Seattle, outside of Seattle, what is one city that you can't wait to wrestle in?
That I haven't wrestled in, huh?
Because Seattle already has to be on the list. I mean, this is happening tomorrow.
Yeah, this is the done deal.
Here's the thing.
You got me. You have stumped me because any place that I liked, I've already wrestled there.
Really?
Yeah.
So, okay, where would you say you're excited to go back to?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
See, I want to go to New Orleans so bad. My dad's from Louisiana. And
What part?
I thought it was called Washita. I asked my dad how to spell it. He was like, you tried to spell it with a W, it's spelled with an O. Somebody told me to just tell people that he's from Monroe.
Oh, gosh, okay.
And they were like, man, just say Monroe. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Gotcha.
And every single time I do that, everyone was like, oh, I get it.
I know where Monroe is, yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
You see?
It's easy.
So that's where he's from. Teeny tiny town. But yeah, no, I want to go one day.
Baby. But yeah.
Okay. Who would you take a shot of tequila with that you work with?
That's hard because I don't like half of y'all.
I'm about to say, you probably don't like none of them.
I'm joking. The person I would take, is that inferring that I haven't taken a shot of tequila with them?
Yes.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. That I haven't taken a shot with. Probably Sting.
Sting?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Sting don't drink, so that won't ever happen.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Last question. One misconception of wrestling. Specifically being a pro wrestler.
It's the obvious one. Nothing is real.
Yeah.
Nothing hurts. I think that's one of the worst misconceptions. It is just for the fact that I don't think wrestlers will get their credit at all. There's a lot that goes into a wrestling match. I'm talking about improv. I'm talking about keeping your cardio up, athletic ability, just having your mind. I would love to be hooked up to one of the machines on my brain so we can see what's firing off during a match. Because when you really think about what a wrestler does, it's insane. I'm talking about being 1 inch off from having your whole career be over, right? But I can't expect a person who's just watching to understand that. They just see it as just...
Heck, you can't. Let me tell you something. I heard somebody hit those rings over at Washington Hall, and I was like...
Oof.
Then, I don't remember what the kid's name was, but he was wrestling, and I could tell that they did something to his arm. And it was just getting stepped on and pulled on, and I was like, that looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no, that really hurt. I was like, oh snap. So basically what I'm saying is...
Masochist. That's what that is.
And then after the match, I see him, he's all...
Yeah.
I was like, damn, if anybody ever said this wasn't real, like, yeah, there might be some parts of it.
Sure, absolutely.
But the injuries are not fake.
Falling down on a mat is as real as it can get. And you're seeing it live. Yeah. Imagine that. You're jumping up 15 feet in the air and you're coming down on your knees, elbows, wrists. Like, that's going to take an effect on you.
My manifestation's real good. I'm not going to manifest that one.
Really?
I'm not
big into it.
I'm just going to watch.
I like that.
I'm just going to watch.
You could be a manager. I could see that. An MC.
I could do that.
A hype girl.
I could do that because I definitely get hype up there.
Swing a bat or something.
Shoot. Okay. So you have your match tomorrow.
Yep.
outside of wrestling, what do you do? Do you have anything like going on? Any charity things? Any businesses that you want people to know about or remind people to get into?
I don't. So I don't have that just yet. I do work with Mark Henry. Mark Henry also works with the Special Olympics. That's really big in Austin.
Nice.
So that's one of the bigger things that I'm somewhat quasi connected to. But I mean, for me personally, no, I don't have anything just yet. But it's a new year, and I'm trying to get everything in order in terms of wanting to start like a toy drive locally for Austin, but I want to go over to New Orleans and start doing more for that community as well, just because of, one, I'm from there, and two, I feel like New Orleans gets overlooked a lot when it comes to just different things, charity events, toy drives, things like that. And I take it on my shoulders as a person, as a New Orleans 504 boy. I take it on my shoulders to be the person to bring it all back.
Yeah, because everyone just really goes for Bourbon Street, and it's like there's actually life that happens down there. I'm talking about there's real people.
The energy there is unlike any other place that you've ever been.
Yeah,
I love it. I love New Orleans with all my heart.
What's the best time of year to visit?
October.
Well, I guess I'll have to get my tickets.
That's for weather. That's for events that you want to go to. All of it. October is the best time to go.
Well, shoot, I'm getting me a ticket for October. In the meantime,
Southwest got some cheap tickets right now.
No. I will fly Alaska.
Okay. If they go. If they go.
Nope. But with that being said, tomorrow you have your match, so I'm going to be able to see you do your thing.
Let's go.
And I cannot wait to be screaming and loud. I mean, I'm a little injured, but guess what? I'm going to make life happen. Otherwise, I want to thank you for sitting down with me.
This was great.
This was awesome.
I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited to see y'all come out and experience it live and, experience me. Wrestling.
I'm here for it. Just please do me the favor. If we're
up?
in the front row, I was seeing some stuff at Defy that gave me anxieties.
What?
Somebody came flying out the ring.
Oh, yes.
And then it was like little ants scattering in the crowd. And I was like,
they're giving you a money's worth. That's what that is. You got to be a part of it.
JC, you got to make sure I get out the way.
Go to a rock concert, mosh pit. It's the same thing,
Oh, my God.
Same
well,
thing.
shoot. I'm just going to make sure I stretch a little bit so that way. I'm telling you, he came flying over and just landed on people. And I was like, but you know what? It's a story for the next day. I might be here for it.
Yeah. You'll have something. Thursday comes, you'll have something ready.
All right. Well, shoot. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I want to thank you once again, and hopefully you find some while you're here in Seattle.
I will. Thank you.